Welcome to Toro NSN's Training in 10, an innovative self-paced training module that allows you to get trained and get going. Today's topic is Quick Start Part 2, System Template and Station Setup. While this presentation is focused on Lynx 4.0 version and higher, the principles apply to all versions of Lynx. Once you have finished the languages and units and the hardware configuration, you then move into the system template. The first part of the system template is the pump station. You can give your pump station an individual name, and you can give it the flow. This will be utilized in Lynx to assist in building a quick start hydraulic tree. The next step is to give your facility a name. Then, how many holes you'll be utilizing at your facility. Remember, your practice facility might be listed as hole 19, and the clubhouse and grounds could be hole 20. You can set up to 45 holes per individual course. The pump station flow is divided into the number of holes you have selected. This will build a quick start hydraulic tree. An example is if I have 18 holes with a pump station that puts out 1,800 gallons per minute. This will give each hole in my quick start hydraulic tree 100 gallons per minute. The main portion of the system template are the areas for your facilities. These areas could also be called programs. The area programs utilize the 80-20 or the majority rule. That means the majority of the station attributes in a specific area are the same. The exceptions to the rule will need to be addressed in the operational portion of Lynx in the Advanced Setup Control System. There are 10 area-based programs by default in Quick Start. In setting up the area program template, the areas can be edited or can be made inactive by removing the check in the box here. You can also rename the areas as well. By typing over the name of the individual area program, you can change it, such as we have changed this one to collars. Do not use the same name twice while naming these area-based programs. Next to the name column is the program number. Any columns that are grayed out are for read only. The next column is the two-letter designation or identifier for the area-based program. The letters can also be edited, but do not utilize the same two-letter combination twice. The next column allows you to select the sprinkler type the majority of stations in that area utilize. Now, once you've selected the sprinkler, select the nozzle type that the majority of the stations in that area program utilize. Now select the number of sprinklers per station that is the majority in that area-based program. The next column allows you to set the pilot valve pressure for the majority of the stations. There are 4 choices in the pressure settings: 50, 65, 80, or 100. The next column allows you to set the arc of the individual sprinklers. Again, the majority rules, and you will fine-tune this later in Advanced Setup Control System so that it matches the arcs of the heads in the field. This example shows that we have set the arc at 270 degrees, which was the majority rule. Now select the pattern the majority of the stations utilized: triangle, rectangle, inline, or area. The rectangle pattern has both row and sprinkler spacings. The triangle pattern only has sprinkler spacing. The inline pattern has sprinkler spacings and row spacing. The row spacing is the convergence of the sprinkler arcs. If you utilize the area, if you have odd-shaped sprinklers, then you directly type the area that station covers. Once you have selected the pattern, place in the head and/or row spacing. Only rectangle and inline have sprinkler and row spacings. Triangle is only sprinkler spacing, and area is total area. The next column is the auto cycle max time. This is the maximum amount of time a station will run at any one time. If this is set for 3 minutes, but the station has a 7-minute run time, it will irrigate 2 3-minute runs and a single 1-minute operation. The auto cycle minimum soak is the minimum amount of time between each of those auto cycle max times. They could be longer dependent upon hydraulic, amperage, and simultaneous limitations. You can set the precipitation rate for an area-based program for their stations. Remember, this is again the majority rule. So you will again need to go to the control system once you have finished Quick Start to fine-tune your system. You can also set the default runtime for each area-based program during Quick Start, but you will find a lot easier to set those runtimes via the watering plan in the operational portion of Lynx. If you are utilizing a Network VP, Network VPE, or OSMAC, you can set the majority amperage draw for the solenoids in Quick Start. The last column allows you to set the percentage adjustment for all stations within a specific area-based program. Again, it is easier to set them later in the operational portion of Lynx within the watering plan. You can add additional area-based programs to your system during Quick Start. You can have up to 99 area-based programs. All you have to do is click into the blank spot here. You can add a specific name to that area-based program, but remember not to use the same name twice. You can add the 2-letter designation, but remember not to use the same 2-letter combination twice, and then finish placing the attributes for that individual area-based program. Once you've finished with the template, then click on the Apply button at the bottom right, and then move to the Station Setup screen. As you begin the use of the Station Setup screen, select the course you're wanting to work with first. If you need to change courses, utilize the buttons here at the top right to move from course to course. Then make sure you've selected the appropriate hole. And again, to change from hole to hole within your facility, utilize the buttons here on the top right. Once you have selected the course and the specific hole, then select the area program that you are wanting to assign stations to. Then type in the number of stations that are specific for that area in that hole. Now click the plus next to that area. It will then expand an unassigned station column. This shows the area tags. The area tags have the hole number, the two-letter designation, and the station tag number. Again, click the plus next to that area you're wanting to assign stations to. Once the area is expanded, it then shows the station tag identifiers and the hardware address for those stations in the field. We start with placing the satellite address in its column. Then type the station number and hit the down arrow on the keyboard to move to the next cell. The satellite number will move with you. Finish filling out this piece of information for each hole and area. It shows here at the top right as a station hardware is assigned. You cannot use it two places within the system. Also notice that as each area is used, the unassigned is counted down. As you finish with each area, move to the next area and place the number of stations there, and move to the next holes until you have finished. At any time during the programming process, you can close Lynx and open the file manager and save this database. It is recommended to do this on an ongoing basis. If you are programming a decoder system, there are two additional columns that appear: the decoder address and the decoder offset. This is an additional identification process for a GDC system. When you place the gateway, station group, and the station number into the system, Lynx will look at the CSV file that was associated with this database. This was described earlier in a training in 10. And it will pull in the decoder number and the offset for that decoder. The rest of the process is the same for all hardwares. Once you have finished all areas, all holes of all courses, the last step is to click the Apply button on the bottom right. When this Apply button is clicked, the system will exit Quick Start and prompt you to restart Lynx. You are now ready to irrigate. Remember to take a few minutes to fine-tune your system to match the actual field information. Well, another 10 minutes has gone by and you have just completed another episode of NSN's Training in 10. Today's topic has been Quick Start, Part 2, System Template and Station Setup for Lynx. We hope that this Training in 10 lesson was helpful for you to better understand this helpful tool, and that it helps further enhance your career working with the #1 irrigation central control product available, the Toro Lynx control system. Be sure to keep looking for future installments of NSN's Training in 10, the self-paced training module that allows you to get trained and get going. If you have any questions about this or about future training module releases, or if you'd like to participate in one of our acclaimed Toro Lynx regional training classes, please contact us by calling 888-676-8676 option 2. Once again, that's 888-676-8676 option 2. Toro NSN Training also invites you to follow us on Twitter so that you can get the latest updates on where we are, what we're doing, and the new training opportunities for you to participate in. You can find us at twitter.com/@ToroNSN Training and send a request to follow us. A service provided by NSN is NSN Focus Training, personalized irrigation software training with 2 options available: online 1 to 2 hour blocks, specific topics done on the web, or in person half or full day blocks addressing multiple topics at your facility. If you want more information on it, give us a call at 888-676-8676 option 2. Toro and Toro's National Support Network. Count on it.